because I wanted to know, like, when people get nervous around speaking, like, what is the thing that comes up for them? So even as you're validating new ideas for courses, master classes, offers, talks that you want to do, asking questions are powerful. And this can be in your audience, but this could also be in groups that you're in, right? So earlier today, I went to actually a content creation workshop, which was just so in line with what I will be providing with you all today. And this one was in particularly about like how to build out content in other people's groups, right? Like how to build in lead management when you go into Facebook groups or other people's pages. But what I really appreciated about it is the person who was leading it was talking about the energy that we should have when we are creating content and the energy we should just have when we write things about our lives in general, right? And I want to lead with that with you all, right? If we create content with ease, then that is really us creating a platform for us to create ease in our lives for abundance, ease in our lives for our clients, ease for the people that we work with, right? We're putting all of that out energetically. So it is extremely important that when we're going into a space to create, that we kind of like clear the energy and clear the space. So for yourselves, right? What I ask of you and invite you to do is to clear yourself of distraction, right? That you may have. You might have had a long work day. You might have had a speaking engagement today. You might have someone watching Dancing with the Stars in the next room like I do, right? There's so many distractions around us, but since we're coming together with like collective momentum, I just want you really to just clear the space to learn, to think, to ask questions. I am not, I would say, a content expert, but I am a content creator and I do it consistently. So I feel like I can answer a lot of questions, but we have a wealth of knowledge in this space that can do it as well. So I'm going to give you all some of the tips that I've utilized. It's something I'm trying to constantly get better at. One thing that I am working on right now in my marketing is actually being able to reuse more instead of feeling like that edge that I need to create all of the time. So you'll always be working on something, right? Like you're never really perfect, but I think you get to a point where it becomes more ease because you just have more resources to utilize, right? And that's what I appreciate about creating content. We're actually creating assets that we can use later on. And the next thing I'll say is that all of these tools that I'm going to give you today can be used on any platform, right? So most of the stuff you'll see in the presentation is from Facebook because that's what I utilize for my leads. But you can utilize this on LinkedIn. You can utilize this on Instagram. And a lot of the posts that you'll see from me will be screenshots of posts that I've done that are mostly written, but I've seen people utilize this in video, in audio, in various different ways, right? So take more of the strategy than really thinking that you have to do exactly what Evolve does. The consistency is what's important, the intention and the energy that you have behind it. Okay, so creating content with ease by Evolve Benton. This is Speaking for Profit Academy or Speaking for Profit Go, depending on where you're at in our program. So the first thing I wanted to get into is like, how do we create with ease, right? The first thing that I always think about to myself is that I want to document the moments that matter. So I take pictures most of the time, like of our dogs, of my partner, of our walks. I'm always taking pictures. I go out and take pictures and do nature walks of flowers, right? Like that's my thing. What are some things that you all find yourselves taking pictures of often? Let's see the chat says. Food, yeah, same. Yep. Nature and my dog, says BX. Okay, great, great. So I challenge you all, right, to document more of your moments, especially your moments when you might not be as comfortable or you might be shying away from the camera. So one thing I was noticing in my phone was I go on walks, right? But I never take a picture of myself. I take a picture of a plant, of a squirrel, of everything else. I was like, okay, let me bring myself into that walk a little bit more. Document the moments that matter to you that you want the world to know about. whether that's you in work, whether that's you in vulnerability, or whether that's you going for a walk with your dog, right? And make it consistent. So now when we go on a walk with the dogs, I'm always like, oh, I want to get them. I want to get a boomerang of them running next to each other, right? Like it's something I do, but it also is something I document, but I don't share right away. So that's why I said document the moments that matter, because then you don't, when you have to go into a promotional cycle or evolve, is like, did you hit your 5-3-1? And you're like, what? That 5 part is super hard. I'm tired of doing content. I hate it. We can be like, you know what? We got plenty of content for you to use, right? Because you have this backlog of things because you are always documenting the moments that matter. The second thing is to plan your content ahead of time. So you're taking pictures all the time. Maybe you're doing videos. Maybe you're even writing down notes of things that you hear, right? You're on this call right now and you write down a quote from Evolve, or Rebecca says something really powerful, so that when you are about to create your content, you sit down and have a moment for that. You know, in the next week, I'm posting 5 things, but I know what these 5 pieces of content are going to be. So that when you're creating that, you're just posting it, right? What I like about this is that it detaches a lot of the energy that might come with a post when you just do it in the moment, out of whatever moment or frustration you're in. I don't know if you've ever been there where you're like, oh, I need to create a post because I'm supposed to create a post today. Okay, I've got a picture. Cool. Now, what do I say? Right? And you're sitting there really frustrated. That post is not going to energetically come across well, right? It's probably going to not be something that a lot of people like or engage with. And that's typically because you've stressed yourselves out. So if you have it ahead of time, right, and you have a plan, it creates the ease for it. Always include a rest day. So I don't really post on Sundays. Y'all probably will see that. You might see some stuff in my groups, and that's stuff that I've either put up ahead of time or my VA has. It's just a day where I'm not going to be doing a lot of posting. I also am not doing a lot of scrolling, right? Like I just kind of give myself rest. And you might need more than one rest day. You might need a few rest days. Maybe it's the weekend for you. I know a lot of business owners that do that. They don't even do anything on Saturday or Sundays. And the reason we want to consider these rest days is because when we are posting, especially the type of post that I'm going to show you all how to communicate, people are going to be attracted to you and expect your response. So if you know you don't want to work on a Saturday, posting things that might invite people to engage with you about work on that day, right, is not doing it with ease, which goes back into the plan, right? I know I'm going to post a mission post and I'm telling people I'm on the mission to solve this particular problem. Will you join me? And I'm looking for hand raisers, but I'm posting it on a day when I got 3 speaking engagements and I'm not going to be able to reply to people. Even my reply energetically is going to be very different, right? And it's not going to necessarily attract the type of clients I want to attract. And that goes into the next point, which is only share when you feel good energy. And that includes like going live, doing interviews with people, right? Anytime you're going to put yourself out there or put your material or your company out there, the energy should be good. Now, notice this, I said good energy, like not like, oh, like I'm not tired. Like I do things plenty of times when I'm tired, but I make sure that my intention and my energy is good. I'm going into the space and I'm prepared for the moment. I got my talking notes. I'm not really feeling erratic, right? I'm organized and I'm ready to go. Did I have a long day? Probably. And I'll say that to the person that I'm interviewing, that's interviewing me beforehand. But I want to make sure I have good energy. I have canceled interviews before. Not even literally, y'all. Sent the email, but emotionally. I've been like, damn, I don't want to meet with so-and-so later on. Oh, I don't want to meet with them. Oh, ugh, I don't feel good. I'm tired. I hope they cancel. And what do I get? Evolve, I need to reschedule. Right? So sometimes it'll even do it on you. And then I'm frustrated, like, oh, they don't want to meet with me, right? But I put all that energy out there. So making sure that we're keeping our energy good by creating structure and by creating ease around us. And then the last thing is just like repurpose, reuse, repost, right? So if you have a post that does really well in written form, the likelihood of it doing really well as a video, it's probably going to happen. And I actually have an example of this that I'm going to try in the near future. I have a few tip videos that I did in my group about a year ago, where it's like tips for avoiding burnout as DEI professional, different things, but they were videos. And now I'm going to turn them into actual, right, written things, maybe one of those sliders that you see on Instagram. And I bet you it will still do as well. So repurpose the content in a different form and reuse things. I see some of the top, like probably marketers in the digital world, especially the coaching world, that reuse the same statements and comments all the time. And at first I used to be like, are they doing this on purpose? I just seen this, but I'm the one stalking them, right? Like other people aren't necessarily stalking them as much, but they're also adding new people to their audience at all times. So what they're doing is they're getting their messaging down. We know that person to say that almost so much that we can say it when they say it. We know when we read the post, it's going to say that at the end or at the beginning, whatever the saying is. And they're doing it over and over again. I have a person who's right now, he's promoting an ebook and he promotes it every Thursday consistently. The similar post might be a different picture, but similar post and similar invitation for people to buy that ebook. He also posts the other content that he posts very consistently as well. So don't be afraid to reuse it. And don't be afraid to repost yourself. Something from the past, something that you said, bring it back up. This is how we create with these. Give ourselves a little bit of structure. Make sure that we're creating all the time, right? We're documenting. We're not creating content all the time. You notice I didn't say that. I didn't say post all the time. I said you're documenting, which means you're taking pictures, you're in the work, you're having a moment, and you're taking time to create your promotional cycle, which is your content, way ahead of the time. When I do this, y'all, I feel like a rock star, to be honest with you. That's how I feel. I feel incredible. I feel excited about my content. I'm like, ooh, I wonder how this is going to land, right? When I don't do this, I do not like it, right? Like it's almost a headache. It's almost like, I didn't post today. What am I going to post? And then I get all energetic, like, oh, I didn't post yet. It's 10 o'clock. Oh my God, it's 12 now. I haven't posted. I might as well just not post today, right? I'm just all in that world. So give yourself the ease of structure. It will get easier with time. In the beginning, you could just map out your post for a week. Like every Sunday, I'm going to sit down and map out what are the 5 things I'm going to post this week. Or every Saturday, I'm going to do that. Then it'll get to a point where you'll say, oh, that was really easy. I did those 5 posts. Maybe I can do 5 more. Let's do the next 2 weeks. But try it first. When I first started this, it was all about the night before. Because I'm very much a procrastinator at times. So I was like, oh, night before, I'm just going to have all those things posted, right? Like ready to go. And then the next day it'll be easy for me. But I like a week. I like at least a week or 2. What I would like for 2022 is to be able to get out at least a month. And then by mid next year, I would love us to have everything built out by quarters, because I think that would be really great to already know what the marketing is going to look like and just be able to sit back and watch it happen. So there are 5 content archetypes that we're going to talk about today, which is great because you are supposed to be creating how many pieces of content as a standard every week? Oh, it's 5. Oh, snap. So that means technically you'll walk away with 5 pieces that you could post probably next week if you wanted to, right? 5 is just a great number, right? But there's also other archetypes, but these are the ones that have worked for me, right? So I say that to let you all know, you might find some other things doing some social media classes out in the world, totally great. But if you give yourselves access to this will bring new people into your audience. This will also give you like user experience data, and it gives you an opportunity to let people get to know you on a consistent basis. So let's jump into them. The 5 archetypes, right? How do we create impact? Number 1, the first one is all about sharing the results, right? And I'm going to go into all of these and show you examples of them. The results of your work, of your labor, of your joy, of you reclaiming your time, if that's what you're doing, of you becoming more of a CEO. It doesn't have to be results that are monetary. Sometimes people enjoy the results that are just about hearing 2 days ago, you were saying you weren't feeling good, and today you were feeling amazing because you drank some water. I used to share that type of post all the time because I was really trying to get dedicated. Y'all probably knows I drink water all the time. Like it's my thing. I'm going to actually get a water bottle and probably start selling it because 75% of Americans are dehydrated, right? And chronic dehydration leads to like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, which is like the top killer when it comes to Black folks, especially Black LGBT folks. So for me, that was a big thing. I was like, I'm sharing the results. Oh, I drank a gallon of water today. Like, that's a big deal. For me, I used to just drink juice. I never used to drink water, right? It's still a result. Share the work is number 2. What work are you doing? And this is different than results. Sometimes people get this confused. The results are like, what is before and after? Right. And the work is literally you in the work. I think I seen Chris taking a photo, right? Like, hey, I'm on Zoom, right? We're speaking for Profit Academy, right? You might even see me. I'll screenshot a coaching session that I'm at, right? Or I'll say, hey, I was at this speaking engagement or whatever it may be. Share the work, share the value, give people actual value, tips, tricks. You learned about a new app, right? Give people value. It doesn't always have to be connected to you getting from others. You giving is going to attract a lot of people to you. And especially as a speaker, an expert, and a consultant, people want to see before, right? They're like, oh, okay, you say you know all these things, but let me see a little bit of your value. Ask questions. And then last but not least, make invitations. So we're going to go into each of these, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of time to try to create your own post. And at the end of this workshop, you'll have some action steps, like some homework to take with you, and then also time for Q&A. So like I said earlier, the content types are not mutually exclusive. You may have content that does all 5 of these things, right? Like that's truly possible. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, I can only share the work, or I can only, right? Like I can only ask a question, right? You can probably put a little bit of this in everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. So sharing the results, here are some examples of what that looks like. Case studies, right? People that you've worked with or people that you enjoy working with, right? Like what are some case studies that you've done? Testimonials from colleagues, from potential clients that you've already served, people that you've already spoken to. I even have started to send out testimonials to people that I do simple like coffee talks with, right? You never know what people are going to say about you and how they're going to be admired by you. Screenshots, easy. Like someone texted me earlier, Evolve, you gave me some advice and I booked a speaking engagement, right? I screenshot the heck out of it. It was a text message. It was one of them. It's like, should I charge for this? I was like, yep, you sure should. How much? I was like, I wouldn't charge lower than 2,000. They got it, right? They're not even in the academy. Still screenshot. Stories. What are stories that you've heard, right? That shares the results of your work. Share the stories of the clients or of the audience. Maybe when you went into an audience or a group, when you got there, everybody was just quiet. And by the end, they was laughing and dancing with you, right? Share that story so that people can see the results of your work. So here's a few examples of how I have shared my results, right, in the past. And not even that long ago. One of them is from yesterday, right? So this first post right here is really when I was talking about getting an email from a student, right, about the teaching program, right, that I'd done, and talking about how it let them like ease their anxiety, right? And people really enjoyed that. The other thing is like, I just got 2 emails about speaking engagements in the fall and haven't reached out to leads in months. That literally happened. That's when I was doing the follow-up process with Rowan. I was like, Rowan, we should reach out to people you spoke to. And I did too. And look, right? Hadn't even done any lead management. People can see me sharing the work. And then yesterday I posted about our 1-year anniversary. Right? I'm sharing many things in this because I'm sharing that. I'm also giving them like literally a testimonial. We're bringing in some celebration. So these are some examples of how you can do it. Share the results. You also will see people sharing checks or sharing, like screenshots of their Stripe or things like that, right? Like sharing the money that's actually in there. That's a great thing. I've shared in the past me signing contracts, right? Okay, booked another gig. I'm signing the next contract for my opportunity. So that's share the results. And then next is share the work, right? So What does that look like? That's insights, what you're currently working on. Give them like pull back the curtain, right? Like if any of you all have ever done film work, right? When we have our BTS behind the scenes, they want to see that version of you, right? I love when people do those posts where it's like me before the presentation and me during, right? You know, kind of like on the TikTok, like, ooh, I just woke up and now I'm like glamified and I'm ready to go. Let them see it. Between the scenes, maybe you're on a break between a presentation and you want to jump on and you want to jump on live and say, hey, you know what? I'm meeting with this group and we just had such a powerful moment and I wanted to share it with you. They're actually on break right now. And you got like everybody's screen is black, similar to here, right? People are off, not on camera. So it's ways that you can do that. In the moment thoughts, right? Maybe you're in a speaking engagement and something comes up, or maybe you're consulting a client, you have a really good moment. I have posted this before about people I've been on strategy calls or coaching calls with. Like, dang, I was on a coaching call with someone and this came up and I thought I would share it with you all. Right? So share the work. Show them that you are working, even if it's on Zoom. A lot of people feel like they can't do it if they're not doing something in person, and that's not true. Even if you're on Zoom, share it. When you're at speaking engagements, ask for consent, always, right? Ask for permission, but ask people if y'all can take a group photo. Take a picture of the Zoom. That's always a great way. And people love it. I mean, when I do it, especially with young people, undergrads, they're like, make sure you send it to us. Like they want it, right? They want to take it and frame it. It's so cute. So people really do enjoy it. When I was speaking in person and I went to UC Santa Barbara. Yeah, I was like, was it Berkeley? No, Santa Barbara. I had the opportunity to sign their wall of fame. That's what they have for every speaker that comes. And they have my picture there. When I was doing it, I had one of the students record it and I shared that. And I got so much love. Like people were like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my goodness, I felt like a celebrity. And then the students are excited, right? Like they're like, shouts out to Evolve. So have fun with it. And anytime you have a speaking engagement or a master class coming up, you're putting together your first podcast, you should be taking photos of you getting that done and being in work, even if you're not going to share it right away. There's so many projects that I've created, y'all, that I'm so mad I didn't document it. Like even my whole process of writing my book, some of that frustration I went through, while I can remember it and I can bring back a story, I wish I had the documentation from the actual moment to go back and bring it up and share it. So why does this work, right? In particular, it's visibility, right? One of the V's that we talk about. So people see you in work. So when they think of, oh, do I know a speaker? Do I know a person? They're not going to think about, oh, Bobby shared that they want to get booked this month. They're not thinking about that. They're going to be like, you know what? BX was sharing us a photo of them at this coaching call with Seeking for Profit and how they trying to like get their skills up. So we know that they're like amplifying their skills as a speaker. They want to see the action, right? They want to know what you're doing and how you can support people. BX, Bobby, you see how I use both of them because you got the slash there. So I went back and forth, Yeah, I got you. So we want to give visibility, right, to what we're doing. Build the know, like, and trust, right, which is the key to marketing. If people see you and know you and see you as a human, they're going to trust you. Wow, Rebecca just spoke for so-and-so. Oh, well, we know we can trust them, right? I think this is one of the strengths that Dr. Christine has, right? Posting all the time, like, oh, thank you, Business Wire. Thank you, MLB, right? All of these big names. And while other people are like, maybe not saying anything, they're watching that. So they'll know, oh, these people trusted you to speak about that. That is super duper powerful. I trust you as well. The other thing is it gives them a preview of the experience, right? Which is what I was just talking about. They get to see what it will be like to work with you. It builds authority, which is super powerful, right? People see you as actually that speaker, actually that consultant, right? Like someone recently asked me like, how are your clients doing? And I was like, it's kind of weirded out. Like, how do they know I have clients? What are they? And I was like, oh, yes, I share about these people I work with, right? And someone recently was like, oh, it seems like a lot of your clients doing some cool stuff, doing well. Yeah, yeah, right? So people know it. And then it creates the intimacy. That's the thing about marketing. People, when you're becoming authority, right? An authority, which I don't really like that language, but an influence, an expert, people see you. It's powerful because they want to see you also as them. They don't want to see you in a way that's unaccessible. They don't want to think, oh, Rebecca's just a speaker. They know it all. Like Rowan knows it all. Like I can't talk to them. No, they want to see you in the work. They want to see you say you're nervous. They want to see you say, oh, you know what? I never thought I would ever be able to talk to this group. And I'm doing it, right? So don't be afraid to share it.
Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're going to witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, you'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped me help my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking and consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there.
So here's an example of me sharing the work. I had my Crafting Your Signature Talk Masterclass here on the left-hand side. So I shared the laptop of me actually working on it. Like, did you get it? The replay is available, right? And this is what you would consider a mixed post, right? Because it's also a comment for value post, which we'll talk about later. Because I'm asking people, hey, if you want this, just comment. It's available for a limited time. So I'm having people raise their hand, and I'm also sharing with them the work that I've done. The one on the right was that I was sharing the boy doc, right? At a particular gender bias, power dynamic workplace workshop. It was exciting. So I was watching it on my laptop with the group, and I decided to take a picture of myself. This one got way more traction than I thought. I was like, oh, they're more excited about the boy doc than anything, which was really cool, right? So share the work in that way. Share yourself. It doesn't have to be like I have this one person I follow, and he does a great job of sharing his morning routine, but it's almost in reels, right? Which is really cool. So it's really fast. And it'll be like, the sun coming up, and then it'll just be him. You always know because it's the back of him, right? Him lighting up his studio that he's working in, the camera coming on, all that. Then a coffee pool, and then him saying the affirmation of the day. That's how he's sharing his work. Very simple. And he's just put it all together. So this is a quote from one of my coaches, Avery, and he says, building a daily habit of sharing the work is the single biggest thing that you can implement to drastically reduce your content creation time. Lack of consistency is the biggest momentum killer. Sharing the work is the cure, right? Because if we are taking pictures of ourselves consistently daily when we're in the work, when it comes time to do it and to put it into our content, do y'all realize that gives you at least one every week from that 5, right? That you can do and share with folks. You do not have to feel like you got so much to do, right? You already doing the work, so why not share it? And don't think that when you share it, you have to share yourself. That's why I love sharing my computer, right? Maybe you print out your speech or your documents and you want to share it. Maybe it's a contract you want to share. right? Maybe you just want to share your feet and you walking into the actual building, whatever it is, right? Like, don't be afraid to get creative with it. All right. So next is sharing the value, right? We talked about value posts. How to's are powerful, right? And not like how to and giving them the whole dissertation, y'all. Unfortunately, people have very short attention spans, including Evolve, right? So you will lose us. So give us a how to that's maybe like 3 steps or 4 steps, something that's really simple. Myth busting, right? This is powerful. I did a post about this last year. I couldn't find it, but I wanted to bring it in just as an idea. I have been able to build pretty much a perfect credit score. Like I posted the other day and it was like, it's like in the 800s, right? Which is wild because I had problems with my credit. And one of the myths that a lot of people believe is that in order for you to have that type of credit score, you can't have student loans. So I remember posting last year when I hit about 700, I was like, yo, I got a 700 credit score and I have like 6 figures in student loan debt. So like myth buster, right? Like it's definitely still possible to do that and have that, right? So when you can like share with people things that they didn't know, right? Or like shift their mindset, a super way to share value. Give them strategy or tactic, right? Maybe there's like some tips that you always give. I'm thinking about you, Chris, as far as like wellness tips or ways that folks can really support themselves, or the ways that workplaces can be supporting staff more, right? Like, what are some strategies and tactics that you can share with people? 10 tips, 3 tips, right? To make sure that they're able to get it. And remember, this doesn't all have to be written. So it could be a live video that you do where you say, hey, I'm going to share with you my strategy on how to make sure that we put well-being first and never burn out, right? Or what to do when we burn out. This goes into the next one, which is step by step or list posts. People love this. I know I do. I save them all on Instagram. Like how to make a something something tequila, right? I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, I like lime, salt. Okay, wait, punch. Okay, I got all my ingredients. Great. What do I do next? Wait, don't swipe too fast, right? Get all the directions in there. People want that. They want that in their journey and they want to understand that. And then last is like share your story and your journey. That is value for so many people. People ask me all the time, right? Like, how do you do this? And sometimes it's not the stuff that I think is really like necessarily important, but I realize, right, for me as a storyteller, a lot of the things that they're hearing, they're inspiring to be on that journey in that particular way. So like the other day, someone asked me, because they noticed I had more than one website and they're like, how do you keep up with all the websites? And I was just like, this is not really like my jam. But then I was like, well, I don't update them all the time, right? And it went into another conversation. So sometimes people even see the work that you're doing and the way that you're doing it and want to know more about it. The reason that this works is because it gives you credibility, right? When you share value. So if you want people to see you as an expert BX in being able to support people with structure in their lives to get 1% better, right? Around really like dedicating that time. Seeing you share value on how to do that is going to make people believe that you are the person who does that. I share so much in other groups about like tips for speaking. I'm always in comments when people are like, hey, should I charge for this? I'm in a comment like, yep, double. And then I go back to see, and they're like, oh, yeah, I got that contract. Congratulations, right? People ask, oh, how do you publish a book? Anybody know of a publisher? Oh, I don't know of a publisher, but I self-published. I use Ingram Spark. Here you go. I'm going to share the link with you. Anybody know a social media manager? Yep, I know one here, right? That's still value. Even though I'm not even making it about me, people see me as a person who's connected to value. And they want to see that as well when you're building that credibility. Right? That also brings in the give and take, right? People don't just see you just posting about yourself. You're sharing value and things that can come from others. It also positions you as a leader, which is what people want to see you as. And this doesn't mean that you have to be the mastery of everything, but it does mean that you're willing to lead the moment. Being willing to share some of the vulnerable stories that we do share, y'all, people see that as leadership. There's a lot of people who want to share their lives and their journeys that aren't willing to do it, right? Like someone hit me up yesterday. They're fearful of speaking, right? Always have been. And they were like, how do I get past the fear? Like, you just get on live and you just make it look easy. That's exactly what they told me. Right. And I was like, oh, this is definitely a moment where they're seeing my leadership just from my action. Yes, it's on the speaking coach, but it's also because they're like, wow, I actually see you speak and it doesn't seem like you're fearful. And then I had to tell them, yeah, I do get nervous sometimes, but it's all about what's in your body. And then also seeding your programs or your other intellectual property, right? So you could say, hey, this is like something maybe you could do, Chris. Here are 3 tips for well-being, right? That I utilize every week. I have 3 others that I usually share with my paid clients. If you want to get access to those, just hit me up, right? It's always like seeding it, right? Like I'll talk about the proposals that y'all do or that I do. Like the other day, I put it up and I said, which was a true post, which was wild because I had just talked to a client who said they put in a 50K proposal and someone said they put in 25K. And I was like, oh, wow, that's 75K. I'm sharing that. My clients are going for 75K right now. 2 or 3 people hit me up and was like, can I get that proposal template that your clients use? Not realizing, like, yes, it's the template, but it's also like what they're putting in it, right? Like, I give you a whole template, but I'm seeding it, right? And I didn't even realize I was doing it because I was just really more excited. It wasn't my intention, right? But that's the way it came back because they're like, oh, if they both put in these like proposals, I want to know how to do that too. So these are the share the value posts I've done. Don't laugh in my face. I couldn't get a good screenshot there. It's like I kept trying to do it. I was like, damn, okay. I just was really serious during this one. So you're going to get that. So this was the video I did that I told you I'm going to actually turn into long form content, probably, right? Where I did on tips for avoiding burnout as a DEI consultant. So I want to see how that goes in long form. And it went really well, right? We got 13 comments. People shared it, which is really cool. And this was me just sharing value. I literally sat here and I thought to myself, what are tools that I've used to avoid burning out? Wrote them on notes, like the notes in your phone, had my phone right here and read from it and kind of had a conversation with my audience. That easy to share the value. This was another one where I was sharing tips on writing your first book, right? Telling folks how I sold over 1,000 copies, which is really impressive, especially for a self-publisher. I'll be out here hustling though, y'all. Like everywhere I go, they be like, this ain't even about your book. I'm here, so it is. I am about my book. I was at this one organization actually recently, and they were like, we don't understand why the merchandise has to be put in, brought in. And I was like, why would it not? I was like, people are going to want to know more about it. So then when it worked out afterwards, they were like, our staff loves your book and we keep seeing it around. And I was like, I told y'all I knew what I was doing. Like, come on. So yeah, so even sharing your process of how you were able to do a thing, right? People want that. And this is not a course on how to put together a book, but people love the post just because I was giving them simple tips. And as you could see, it's also me sharing the work, right? You see my book, you see it's tangible, you see it's being printed out. And I'm also telling you that I was able to sell 1,000 copies. All right. So next is to engage in questions, right? This is the next thing, the next archetype, engage in questions. This has been super powerful for me. When I did the masterclass revenue machine this summer, it was because I asked the question. I said, do people want to learn about masterclasses, courses, or books? And people said masterclass. So I said, okay, cool. And people did it. We did it, right? We jammed it out. So it could be I'm thinking about creating something, right? Anytime this is like a validation before you create a post, before you create a podcast, before you go, oh, I'm thinking about booking a trip to LA. What's your favorite place to eat, right? This gets people excited when you're going to a conference or an event, or you'll be in a place, they'll know you'll be there, right? Surveying that room, surveying your audience to see what they're doing. I use this when I'm thinking about being a podcast guest. I'll say, what podcast are y'all listening to about blank and blank? They give me a list. That is amazing. That means I don't have to go by myself and look it up. And also, I'm going to be on the podcast that my audience actually likes, right? So it's so connected. Share the love and tag someone, right? Like Oh, you know what? I had a question about da da da. I know that so and so is going to know this, so I'm going to tag them. Right? Hey, Rowan, like, can you teach me about this? Hey, BX, I know you said getting 1% better takes this in your workshop, but what about that? How do I do that? Right? Even tagging people and asking questions. The reason it works is insight into current situation and desired situation, right? So it gives you the insight of your potential client. Where are they at now and where do they desire? I put up a post last year and you'll see it in an example where I was asking people about, why they get nervous around speaking or something around that. And it brought up a lot. This was before I started the academy because I wanted to know, like, when people get nervous around speaking, like, what is the thing that comes up for them? So even as you're validating new ideas for courses, master classes, offers, talks that you want to do, asking questions are powerful. And this can be in your audience, but this could also be in groups that you're in, right? Like, for example, BX, I know you want to do work, and a lot of the work you do can serve higher education folks, right? Why not put the validation in some of those higher education Facebook groups to see what exactly getting 1% better looks like for them, right? What projects are they working on that they're not getting done? What's on people's bucket list? That's always a great question. If I name these three things, would these three things be on your bucket list? Writing a book, jumping out of a plane, or eating a full box of pizza in a minute, right? Something fun, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, shoot, the pizza, but yeah, I always wanted to write a book, right? If you're a person who helps authors. The other thing is it gains the logarithm, right? So when we do an engaging question post, we can get that without being salesy and like, kind of like things that are going to flag Facebook or the other places to take it down, right? Sometimes when you even do some of those polls and all of that, they know you're doing it and they don't even show it as much. You'd be surprised. I've done it before. And we know what came out about Facebook this week, right? So we know what Chris is saying is real. That's why I said unfollow everybody, because that's the only way you can really protect yourself is just follow yourself. Just watch yourself. Because the other stuff they're putting in front of you just might not be good for you. And then the other thing is it gives people a chance to be a part of the conversation. People love that, right? So when I had my podcast coming out, y'all seen that. I was like, which covers do you like? And people, oh, I like this one better. Can you move this color over here? I like your face right there. Oh, I don't like you with this. Well, it depends on what you're going for. I mean, people gave me dissertations and I loved it. I took a lot of the feedback, don't get me wrong. But now that the podcast is created, so many of those people are definitely more invested in it because they were a part of the process. It's like, oh, I helped with that. Oh, they ended up picking mine. Oh, they didn't pick mine. Didn't like mine. Right. But they're still engaged with it. And that's what you want. You're building community. That's what social media was built for. It wasn't built for us to just hang out, right? And judge each other. It was built for us to connect and support one another. So here's some question posts that I have come up with. Right. And this question post is also like a validation post that I would use for a masterclass. Thinking about creating a masterclass to help you get booked and paid 10K to speak at a college campus this fall. Who's in? Right. Then I get to see people raise their hand. They raise their hand. I go to them. I say, yo, what's one question you have about this? See you at the masterclass. Right. This was the one I told you I did a year ago when I was asking people the hardest thing about writing a speech is. Right. And they gave me feedback. And I was like, oh, snap. Okay. This is some things I can help people with. Rebecca, the hardest thing about being a Black philanthropist is, right? What will people say? Why don't rich people give money? See what people say. And a lot of times people don't necessarily say the most fruitful things, but even in their confusion, it gives you clarity, right? Because some people on here said, I don't really write well. And I was like, okay, that's helpful. That's when I started telling many of you, you don't need that. Just use voice memos, right? Okay, I'm dealing with people who might not be strong writers. Okay, that's good for me to know. I don't write a speech. I just prefer to say it. Oh, okay. That's good to know. So you want to make regular invitations, right, to engage in questions, right? Comment for value posts. This is the next one, right? Making invitations. So we got our questions. This is the last one. You want to do this at least once or twice a week. Putting out content all the time, but not engaging with whether people will go on a mission with you or, you know, take one of your tip sheets, have a conversation with you is not really moving things forward. So here's type one of the invitation for a comment for value post, right? This is like a training, a template, a resource, a swipe file that you might have. I've done this with podcast interviews. Hey, did you miss the podcast I did with so-and-so? Want it? Cool. Great. Gets me in a conversation with them. I can send them a link. We're in conversation now, right? And when we're in conversation, what does that mean? I could take them to the next moment, which means either we get on a call about a speaking engagement, a contract, or them being a part of this program. What we're always trying to do is get in conversation. So this goes into the 3 that we talk about in the 5-3-1, right? We don't just want to be reaching out to people like every few days. Let's put up some content that gets us in the conversation, right? Because then when you're in Messenger or on LinkedIn, it's more of an engagement. It's not just you reaching out. It's, oh, Rebecca said that they're going to give us a template, right, to share with us how philanthropy actually works. Because that's something I don't know. Like, how does the money get like filtered in? Like, what is philanthropy? What is that? What does that even mean? Right? Okay. Yeah, I want it. I raise my hand. Cool. Rebecca reaches out. Yeah, you want to know more about that? You always give them that thing first. Don't start talking to people without giving them what they want, because that pisses me off. And you know, it will piss you off. You know, raise your hand. You want the goods, and this person is talking about something else. So the first thing I say is, hey, so-and-so, you raise your hand. You wanted so-and-so? Yeah, I wanted it. Cool. Here you go. Can I ask you a few questions? I just want to see if I can help you further. They say no, that's fine. That's free game. That's value. That's cool. I can always follow with them in a couple of days and say, hey, did you get to check it out? Okay, cool. What'd you think about it? Now, can we talk a little bit more? Great. Cool. But they might say, yeah, sure. Ask me anything. Let's talk now. These can be things that you use from your workshops already. You already are out teaching, speaking, talking. Think about those things that you might want to share with people. Maybe you have a free class that you're already doing, or maybe you have a paid master class and you got some workbooks or something. That's something that you can use in a comment for value post at some point. The great thing about this, everybody not going to raise their hand. So you're not giving it out to the masses. And don't feel bad about giving something for free that someone else paid for. I've done this plenty of times. I've had paid master classes and someone raised their hand for a comment for value post about a master class. Said, I don't really have any money. I just want to check it out. Cool. Here you go. Right? Because I'm getting that email. You're in my funnel. And now we're in conversation. It's worth it. It's way worth it for me to give it to you for free than to fight you over $97. What is the point? It's already created. It's already done. So this is an example of one that I did. Did you see the training I did on securing 15K and speaking engagements by using LinkedIn? Type me to get access. I did a free training in my Facebook group. This was great because then people raised their hand. I went into Messenger and I didn't even I just said, hey, it's in my free group. That got a bunch of people to join the group, right? Great opportunity for them to build community. Very simple. It's already created. I already did it. It already exists. Now I'm just giving an opportunity for some people who didn't engage with it to actually engage with it. The second type is the mission post, right? And this is all about telling people what mission we're on so that we can take them to the next step of working with us. A lot of people do booking posts. I'm booked. I'm booking. I'm open. It's nah. Take people on a mission with you, right? Don't just give them a blank booking post with you being cute. So it invites others to your challenge. It's a form of inspiration. It's a hand raiser, and it makes the offer directly, right? Maybe you send that mission post directly to who's been on the fence about joining or working with you. That could be a great follow-up activity, right? You got a list of people that you work with this year. You could send them a mission email. Hey, so-and-so, I know we worked together in 2021. In 2022, I want to make sure that I'm impacting at least 10 organizations like yours. Can you at least connect me with one person in your network that might be interested in my services? I just came up with that right now, y'all. Please use it. I'm sure somebody gonna get a bag from it. I can feel it now. Cha-ching! Y'all heard that? The money drop. The money dropped in your account. All right. The money dropped in your account because people want that. They get excited about being able to help you. So I did this mission post. This is my favorite because when I put in the word mission, so cool thing about Facebook is if you go over to your profile, you can search your profile. So if you put in any word, you can search post you've done. So I just went today and I put in the word mission. And because this is my top post that popped up, this was in Black women in higher education. Do y'all see how many comments? This shit still exhausts me. I still get pinged from this post to today. It's almost 500 comments, right? So it's like, I'm on a mission to help 20 women in higher education generate an extra 50K from speaking in next year. Who's with me? And they were on it. They were like, yep, I need my money. Oh, you want to give me my money? Well, 50K. Ooh, you got the checks. 400 people, y'all, just from a mission post. And this was not on my profile. This was in someone else's group. It was so bad that the admin flagged me and hit me up and was like, yo, like, what are you trying to sell? What are you doing? And I was like, yo, like, I'm a speaker, I'm a speaking coach, and I'm really just interested to see who I can help. Like, I'm not trying to mess up your group or, and they were like, oh, cool. Like, they thought it was like some spam because they couldn't believe how much it was going off, right? Like, they were like, what is this thing on fire in my group? So it works and people want to be a part of it. I always go into groups before I post anything like this. If you're going to do it in a group and not on your personal profile, make sure you do an introduction post, right? At least a week or two before so people know who you are, because that even helps more. Because then they'll be like, who's this person that put that? And then they'll see you again, right? Super powerful ways to engage. So those are the 5, right? And I'll go back through really quick so you can see them. We have our invitations, right? We want to make sure that we're inviting people at least once a week. We've got questions that we can ask. That can be one of our content archetypes. We want to share value, right? Ways that we can give value to our community. And then we want to share our work. What are ways that we're in the work? And we want to share the results of the work, testimonials, or anything that people have said about us that's amazing. I just got a testimonial from someone in my messenger, and I was like, fuck, I'm out here killing it. I'm sorry I'm dropping so much F-bombs too. I hope no one's around children. Dr. Christine's not here, so I'm not as horrible. But this woman was like, Evolve, I talked to you in April and it changed my life. My goal was $20,000 and I'm already at 10K. Just from a strategy call, y'all. Like, didn't sign for a program or nothing. And I have not seen this person online really. Like, we have not connected, but they're like, I just wanted to send you a message and send you so much gratitude because I'm so appreciative of you. And I was like, screenshotting, right? Like, that's something I'm grabbing. But it's just, it's a really cool moment when you're able to see it come back around and give people value. So for your action steps and for your homework, I want you to write at least 10 posts from these archetypes, right? Which will give you 2 weeks of content, and choose one resource and post a comment for value post by Monday. So you got a few days. I want to comment for value post. I want to see that. If you want to tag me, that's great, but I want to see that on your profile. Like some resource that you have. Maybe you were on a podcast. Maybe you got a tip sheet. Maybe you just got your favorite quote. Whatever it is, share it. Because I want you to get in the mood for that. That is something that really can amplify you and also get you in conversation.